I let my sister believe I was broke for years while secretly buying all her debt, then foreclosed on her dream house. Meredith always saw me as the family failure. While she married her college sweetheart and bought a sprawling colonial in the suburbs, I lived in a studio apartment above a laundromat. She'd visit twice a year, usually when she needed something, always making comments about my thrift store furniture and expired milk. Poor Violet, she'd tell our parents. Still can't get her life together. What she didn't know was that I'd been quietly building a small empire. My accounting degree and obsessive attention to detail had led me into debt purchasing, buying defaulted loans for pennies on the dollar, then collecting full value. It wasn't glamorous, but it was profitable. Very profitable. Meredith's husband Devin lost his job in 2019. Instead of downsizing, they kept up appearances with credit cards and loans. When their mortgage payments started slipping, I watched from the shadows as their debt multiplied. Late fees, penalties, compound interest. It snowballed fast. The first purchase was easy. Their credit card company sold me $47,000 in defaulted debt for $8,000. Then came the medical bills from Devin's surgery, the car loans, the home equity line they'd used for renovations. Every few months, I'd buy another piece of their financial disaster. During family dinners, Meredith would complain about creditors calling constantly. "These vultures keep harassing us," she'd say, cutting her steak. "They want money we don't have." I'd nod sympathetically while knowing I owned 80% of those calls. The breaking point came last Christmas. Meredith cornered me in the kitchen holding a $20 bill. "Here," she said with that condescending smile. "Get yourself something nice for once." That same week, I bought their mortgage from the bank. $340,000 in debt for $190,000 cash. 3 months later, I started foreclosure proceedings. Meredith called me sobbing. "Vi, we're losing the house. Some investment company bought our loan and won't negotiate. They want full payment or we're out in 60 days. "That's terrible," I said, sitting in my real office, not the studio apartment I maintained as a front. "Who's the company?" "Clearwater Holdings," she choked out. "They're heartless." I owned Clearwater Holdings. "Maybe I could help," I offered. "I've saved some money over the years." She laughed bitterly. "Unless you've got $340,000 lying around, there's nothing you can do." "Actually," I said quietly, "I do." The silence stretched. "What do you mean?" she whispered. "I mean, I've been quite successful, Meredith. Successful enough to buy your debt. All of it." The realization hit her like a physical blow. Your Clearwater Holdings? "I prefer to think of myself as your creditor." She started screaming then, called me every name she could think of, threatened to tell our parents, to sue me, to ruin my reputation. When she finally ran out of breath, I spoke calmly. "You have 48 hours to vacate the property." "Why?" she sobbed. "Why would you do this to family?" I thought about every condescending comment, every $20 pity handout, every time she'd introduced me as her struggling sister. "Because you never saw me coming," I said. "And that was your first mistake." They moved into a 2-bedroom rental across town. Devin found work at a call center. Meredith took a job at Target, her first job in 15 years. Last month, she called to apologize. Said she'd learned humility, that she understood now how hard life could be. She asked if we could start over. Of course, I told her. Family is everything. I didn't mention that I'd just bought the mortgage on their rental property too.